Yo, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm coming at you guys with a little bit of a recap of YCS 250th London and or not, I almost said Vegas, London and LA. Nobody seems to know too much about the third YCS that happened, but the two bigger ones, the London one, the LA one, we're gonna go over those. We're gonna talk about, is Branded dead? Branded did not do so hot at this event, bro. Either events, to be honest. We can see the top 64 breakdown of the London YCS right here. So we have 41% Cash Tira, 16% Sprite. I feel like you could have called this heading into the event. I think that Sprite winning the YCS beforehand kind of really put it kind of back on the map because people had kind of given up on it a little bit. At first, at the start of the format, it was Cash Tira, Branded, Labyrinth. Sprite was kind of on the back burner, but Sprite, making a resurgence after winning a YCS is, the deck is very, very strong. In the OCG, it's a lot more neutered than it is here. So Sprite is just a strong deck, strong engines. A lot of people splashed in Sprite with you guys saw what's his name? I don't remember his name. Dinkumbu or something like that. Something like that. He played the For Hire Sprite Runic deck. And that did really, really good. I think he got top 4 with that list right there. So let's just go ahead and talk about some of the things. I also have like a few cards on DB pulled up that I want to talk about. But yeah, let's just go over some of the topping deck lists real quick. So this is the Samir's deck list, the guy who won. The last game was absolutely insane. Tom, the guy that got second right here, Tom Kellengraber, he set up a pretty good Cash Tira board. He had Shangri-La. I think he summoned out Fenrir during the standby phase. He had a Rise Heart. He had Mind Hacker ripping. But this guy right here, Samir, opened the absolute nuts. He opened double Kurikara, which, by the way, this card's not once per turn. I didn't even realize it. The only thing that's once per turn is to Reborn from the Grave. So the effect to summon itself is not once per turn, which is like, oh my god, I didn't even realize that. It's just crazy. So Kurikara came in and kind of showed out. This card was getting a little bit more expensive after that had happened. I went on and checked on TCG Player the card prices. The card's like $50 now, bro. Card's like $50 now. I remember when this card was like $9. It's actually crazy. But yeah, you can see the Droll in the side deck here. But yeah, he opened double Kurikara, Talons, Beaver, Red, Starter. Like, bruh. Crazy, crazy. You can see the 3 Ash still in the main deck. I think Ash, or if we're talking about for Branded, I think Ash is going to be less popular at the next event because Branded, this event, kind of took like a back seat, and it didn't perform very well. So I think that the next YCS, Branded is going to be getting completely disrespected, bro. I think that Branded in the future will be completely disrespected. I'm starting to see a lot of the top players, people like Joshua, some people like Pack and stuff, they're starting to cut Ash. They're saying Ash is not that good. It's like really, really mid. And if you're not playing, let's see if you guys can see his second place deck list. This guy right here only played 2 Ash. He did play the 1 Nib, just for the crossouts right here. I swear I saw a Droll in his list too. Oh no, it was this one. It was the top 4 who was also playing crossout, but also put in the Droll in the main deck and 1 Nib for the crossout right here. He just has the Nib. He can cross out Nib. He can cross out Ash. He can cross out Imperm. He can cross out Evenly, cross out Eclipse, and Double Moon. So that's cool right there. But yeah, I think that Ash is going to be starting to get less popular. You guys can see 2 in the main deck right there. 3 right there. 3 in the next one. And then Dinkon Fam also running 3 Ash. Decks like this, like Hand Trap Sprite and like Math Mech, will probably always play like 3 Ash. Just because it's such a generically good hand trap. But you have to see it's like format by format. But you guys can see right here, like top 16, Vins, he didn't play Ash at all, so no Ash in his deck list whatsoever. Just the 3 Evenlies and the 2 Radiant Kaijus. I would like to know why he chose the Radiant Kaijus. I'm sure there's a reason. I know Vins is a good player, so I don't know. It's curious for sure. This is Joshua's list right here. You guys can see also Peep, no Ash in the main deck right here. Did main deck double Kurikara. which I think is cool. 1 talents, 3 evenly. And then we move on to Ben Grandel, Sky Striker, Kashtira. You guys can also peep. No Ash Blossom in the main deck. So Ash is getting less and less popular. You see it in the side deck, and you see Shifter as well in the side deck. 3 Ash in this one though. So you guys can see like it's still there. Like people are still respecting branded, but I think that this event, it was like, okay, you will expect some branded. It probably won't perform as good. A lot of people were saying like it probably won't perform as good, but people were still expecting it. So you still play the Ash. I think after this event, branded not performing well, and it just like nobody's talking about branded at all. If we go back to this, branded was Branded was 6% tied with MathMech. It wasn't even in the top 4 most rep. I mean, I guess it was tied for 4th, but Kashtira, Sprite, Runic, 13% Runic, like all more than Branded. So I think, like I said, next time there's a big event or something like that, I think Branded will be really disrespected, and I think that's like where it comes in, because you guys can see, look at the side decks: 1D barrier, no D barrier, no 1D barrier, no D barrier, but they are playing the Grave of the Super Ancient Organisms, which is low key better than D barrier against branded. So we might have to wait for the Grave of the Super Ancient Organisms to go away, but this is lab, probably mains D barrier, just one. But if you look at like the Math Mech, no D barrier in the side, no Grave in the side. Same here, just no D barrier. Right here, just the rivalries, no D barrier, no main deck D barrier, and then playing 1D barrier in the side. And that's for the crossout. Oh, this is a branded list. I didn't even realize. Branded player point right here. Okay, so it's for crossout. That's cool. But I don't even think you need to do that anymore. So I think like if you guys had saw my list where I was main decking crossout and branded, I don't think you're gonna have to do that now anymore, because like I said, next format, like after this event, I think Ash is gonna become less and less popular. So you don't have to main deck the Ashes yourself, or you don't have to main deck the crossouts, which is really good. That frees up 6 spots that you can put non-engine in. That's always been one of Brandon's biggest problems. It's not able to play that much non-engine, and that makes it, less desirable in certain formats, because a lot of formats, the going second non-engine cards will really, really help. Branded engine is really strong, and we know Brandon's engine can break boards, but certain times you need non-engine. It's nice to have slots for non-engine, and it's also just like if the branded deck, like it's a little bit inconsistent, and you need to play non-engine. So it's not like you're breaking on like a whole bunch of hand traps and non-engine that you could use like utility cards to stop your opponent from playing. If you're not playing, if you just hard brick with branded, you draw the trap, you draw like I can't think of a hand right now, but so we'll go over some cards that I kind of wanted to highlight and talk about. Obviously, the Curry card coming up in the finals of the European YCS. Oh, I also wanted to talk about, because this was the European one, I'm pretty sure. So I want to tell you guys really quick the breakdown for the Vegas one. So, or not the Vegas one, the Los Angeles one. I keep saying Vegas, Los Angeles. So Los Angeles, there was 33 Kashtira in top 64, 33 Kashtira, 7 Runic Naturia. So if we can compare this to this, 7 Runic Naturia, 5 Sprite, 7 Runic Naturia, 5 Sprite. So we can see that in London, Sprite was more popular than the Runic Naturia. I'm assuming this is Runic Naturia. It might be combining all Runic strategies, but mostly Runic Naturia. And then 3 Despia, 2 Drytron, 2 Mathmech, 2 Flunder, 1 Runic Plunder, 1 Kaiju, 1 Adventure Scareclaw, 1 Marincess, 1 Sword Soul, 1 Tier, 1 Punk, 1 Traptrix, 1 Rika, 1 Sky Striker. So I want to talk about this card. So Branded, I think, is not that good at the moment. I think later on in a certain format, once people start really disrespecting Branded, because once people start taking out Ash and D barriers from their deck, Branded obviously becomes a lot better because of that. So I think Branded in the future will be it will become like a sleeper deck, and it will become like a really good choice to surprise people. Dark Ruler, I think you should have been on this card. You should have been on this card before going into that last event. Dark Ruler is so crazy into Sprite. It's crazy into Sword Soul. It's crazy into the Runic The Runic Naturia board, if they go for Barone, Nat Beast, because obviously Nat Beast can't negate this. It's good into, I already said Sword Soul. It's good into cash, bro. Like people say this isn't good into cash. It's only not good into cash if they lock 5 and they lock your back row zones. But you guys can see in the finals, the guy went for locking the monster zones, and you just like if you had dark, like it's good against cash too. If they go Arise Pass, you Dark Ruler the Arise Heart, you're lit. Um, they go semi full combo, like the lock 3, you're lit with Dark Ruler. So I think it does a lot, and I think that you should have played this card for the last event. If Runic keeps on getting more and more popular, because you guys are seeing like the Runic Live Twin Sprite is a deck. Runic Sprite is a deck. Fur Hire Runic is a deck. Plunder Runic is a deck. So there's a lot of different Runic variants, and this card right here, it shits. It shits on any Runic deck. Like if Runic decks get more popular, those were the second most represented decks. Actually, nah. In one of the YCSs, it was Sprite. Yeah, this in the London one, Sprite was ahead of it, but not by a lot, like 3%. So I think Runic might become more popular, and then people might start main decking Shifter. I don't think that main deck Shifter was a terrible idea. It's terrible if you're going up against cash, like you have a dead card, but it's not as scary as something like Runic. Like if you're playing cash yourself and you like you have D Shifter in hand, like obviously there's a lot of downsides to Shifter. Like drawing it mid game, it's absolutely terrible. It's just completely dead. Drawing it against Cash Tira, also it's completely dead. But if you have to think about this, every other matchup, bro, Mathmech, Despia, any Runic variant, literally any Runic variant, um, yeah, Mathmech, Despia, a whole bunch of stuff, bro. Marincest you could throw in there. Shifter's just, it's the best card in your deck, actually. If you're not playing the mirror match in Kashtira, Shifter's actually the best card in your deck. And you have to think about that. Also, if Droll becomes more popular, if we see an increase in Runic strategies, then Droll could become more popular in the main deck, which Droll is also good against Kashtira. So if you main deck Shifter, it kind of just does a lot. Like it helps you not get Drolled, because you can go like special summon a unicorn or whatever, search, chain Shifter, they're not Drolling you. So that's really good. So I think Shifter's like a really, it's everybody's siding it that's playing cash. Like everybody's siding the card, but I think that it could become a main deck. It could, put a spot in the main deck because it could just steal so many games instantly off the rip. And I like that. So Droll is getting it's seeing a little play. It's seeing like mid play right now, but could get more popular in the future. Like I said, if more Runic comes out. Gamma, we knew about Gamma. Gamma seemed to be pretty good. It is an out to Shifter, so you're gonna have to be aware of that. Like Runic players, like Game 3, you probably want to side this Gamma, because they're gonna try to shift through your ass, and you're gonna have to hit them with the Gamma, and that's just gonna be really good. Mathmech performed pretty okay, but yeah, overall, I think this event was really good. I had a really good time watching it. I watched a lot of feature matches from both the London and the LA one. So yeah, man, shouts to masterduelmeta.com. Shout out to the winners of the event. Shout out to everybody who topped. Um, yeah, I think Branded right now is dead. I'm not gonna lie about that. It's definitely dead right now. Um, but me personally, especially on DB still, I'm going to be main decking Shifter, bro, because main deck Shifter is cracked, brother. It's absolutely cracked. So yeah, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Quick little YCS recap. Again, shout outs to everybody who participated and did well. Even if you didn't do well, I hope you went and had a good time. But anyway, man, that's it for this video. I'm out. Peace.